All right, we're live. We're live out.
Yeah, I guess he cut out. I'll just start. We want to give all praises to Yahweh, Ba'Hashem Yahushai, Ba'Hashem Rakakodash. Double honors unto the apostles of GMS who rule well. All right, and salutations unto your brothers and your few sisters that take heed. Okay, we're live again, here to bring out whatever the Spirit wills. All right, you had a scripture, Ak?
Shalom. Hello?
Yeah, Shalom.
It's live now?
Come on.
Okay. You guys introduce? Because my internet just... Okay, Malak's gonna come back in.
Yeah, you had a scripture?
Where? This is just I just typed Google search engine blood moon prophecy, and then so some people is taking this like the world's gonna end today and all kinds of things, but we know why these things are happening, and the Bible says this made at the signs of the heavens, man, but we understand that the times that we're in. This is Jeremiah 10, and hear ye the word which the Lord speaketh unto you, O house of Israel. Thus saith the Lord, learn not the way of the heathen, and be not dismayed at the signs of heaven, for the heathen are dismayed at them. Even right now in these different countries and stuff, people's doing all kinds of things, because like I know over there in Jordan, as what we saw, we were looking at earlier, us here, we were looking at the pictures and stuff, and the moon was blood red, and the earth went in darkness in some of these lands for over an hour, man. So that's a major sign of judgment coming upon this kingdom, man.
Hey, I got a precept. No one has
It's
anything.
Satan, man.
Praying.
Yeah, my whole computer all of a sudden is having problems, man.
I just wanted to get the word dismayed in Hebrew, right? This is the word dismayed, which is chathath, which means to be shattered, dismayed, broken, be afraid, right? So, like the brother's saying, when you see these things, it's not to be afraid. It's a sign, and you take it as a sign, right?
I have a precept. Hey, you can hear me?
Come on.
All right. This is Luke 21 and 25. It says, and there shall be signs in the sun, in the moon today for 144 minutes, which is a blood moon. It says, and in the stars, and they even said that my brother brought this out that the moon is aligning with Mars today, and the
Mainly in
hey, I can you there? I can
I
you
think
there?
you're cutting out.
Yeah, this
Are
is
they?
you're like cutting out.
Wi-Fi, hold on. We're
No,
stronger in my house. So.
No, it's not just you. Even my internet's
Give me a
going
moment.
crazy, man. Even my stuff is freezing and going crazy. Yeah, but as I was saying, right? Luke 21 and 25, it says, "And there shall be signs in the
Of
sun."
course, I was holding that one too. That's the spirit.
That's very con. Just so you know, Luke 21 25, "And there shall be signs in the sun and in the moon and in the stars, and upon the earth distress of nations, with perplexity, the sea and the waves warring." And that signs in the stars too. The brother brought out that the moon is actually lining up with Mars. This specific blood moon is actually lining up with Mars, and the Greeks, they believe Mars to be a god of war, right?
Con.
So that could be a symbol that World War III can break out after this. Even he's also going into how people can start acting funny, people can start being more cold, more killings being done, man, because that also affects the vibration of the earth, you know.
Definitely.
Continue on. It says, verse 26, men's hearts failing them for fear and for looking after those things which are coming on the earth. And isn't that not what the world is doing? The world is now watching for things to come on earth because what is going on? The rumors of wars, the outbreaks of nuclear destruction. Now it is on a massive scale that Yahweh is coming back. You even have people not in the truth who are saying that the Messiah is coming back. Because it's that signs of the times. Everyone's in that spirit of Yahweh Shemir Shai's glory, his entrance. It's a vibration that you can't get rid of now. It's out here. You know, it says, for the powers of heaven shall be shaken, and then shall they see the Son of Man coming in a cloud with power and great glory. All right, and know that heaven's being shaken is a nuclear destruction. And after that nuclear destruction, Yahweh Shai is going to show up with the armies of heaven. That's why you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans don't have an army on the earth, because our army is actually in the heavens. All right, because Yahweh Shai fights for us, man, and he's giving us that sign to get ready. Buckle up, tighten up, as the brothers have been saying, because distress is coming to this earth.
And yeah, that and even right now, like guys who's not rooted are gonna get uprooted, man.
That's right.
You know, if you're not if you don't make yourself grounded right now, because it's gonna get way more intense.
That's right.
I
Um,
got a precept.
I have one more verse.
Con, con.
Verse 28. It says, "And when these things begin to come to pass, then look up and lift up your heads, for your redemption draweth nigh, man." And that's a beautiful thing, you know. When we see these signs, we know that our redemption draws nigh, man. And that puts fear on the elites. Huh? That was it.
Con. This is Joel 2 and verse 30. It says, "And I will show wonders in the heavens and in the earth, blood and fire and pillars of smoke. The sun shall be turned into darkness, and the moon into blood, before the great and terrible day of the Lord come." See? And what does that mean? The sun being turned into darkness, that's the eclipse. And then you have the blood moon, right?
That's right.
Huh.
That's what you're seeing right now. And then it says, before the great and terrible day of the Lord, which is what? The grand finale is the missiles hitting, man,
That's
That's
which
right.
right.
is very great and terrible.
And the length of this full moon, or this eclipse, I mean, was 143 minutes or 144 minutes, man. So
Con.
Hmm.
that's a spiritual number right there.
Right.
You know,
That's
that's
right.
very symbolic.
And this is verse 32. And it shall come to pass that whosoever shall call on the name of the Lord shall be delivered. And this is where people put in their garbage about, oh, this is talking about any nation. But then reading on, it says, "For in Mount Zion and in Jerusalem shall be deliverance, as the Lord has said, and in the remnant whom the Lord shall call," which is the elect, which is 12 tribes out of the 12 sons of Jacob. You
Con.
know,
Okay, because then when they
and
see
the
our
foreigners, right?
power, con. Yeah, I was just saying, because when they see our power, man, these other nations are gonna try and call upon that name too for deliverance, man. They're gonna hear it and try to repeat it, but they won't be able to. You know. Um, was that it? I got a precept.
Con.
This is Luke 12 and 56. Ye hypocrites, you can discern the face of the sky and of the earth, and that's what it is. The scientists, the news is saying the science said that the earth is right aligned and perfectly with the sun and the shade of the earth, to bring out this blood moon. So they can talk as if they know the stars and the alignments and stuff like that. It says, "Ye hypocrites, you can discern the face of the sky and of the earth, but how is it that ye do not discern this time?" Because a lot of people have their phones out, recording it, and I bet you a lot of people went live or are live with this blood moon right now. Like the brother showed, he showed us pictures, and everyone's like, "Ooh, look how red it is! Oh my gosh, it's so amazing!" But they don't even understand that time, this time that the Yabba are showing in the heavens, that this is destruction. You need to start watching out now because the woes are just increasing, and woe means destruction for those who don't know. Destruction is increasing, famine is starting to increase, the death is going to start to increase. All right. um yeah, that was it on that preset. If no one else has anything.
So this was the live footage of the blood moon.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, yeah, you can see
Wow,
came
that
out
looks like fire, man.
Yeah.
from here, and it was
Yeah, that's crazy. Hey, let me get this.
I have a quick precept though. Sirach
uh
43 and 6. He made the moon also to serve in her season, for a declaration of times and and a sign of the world. From the moon is the sign of feast, a light that decreaseth in her perfection. The month is called after her name, increasing wonderfully in her changing, being an instrument of the armies above, shining in the firmament of heaven. You know,
hey, but it's so beautiful about that. It says instrument for the armies above. And what do you do with an instrument? You use it, right, for whatever its use is. And it says it was made for a sign. So what is that sign? That's also telling the angels that, hey, it's almost time to roll out. It's almost time to come down and judge this place. you know
says the beauty of heaven, the glory of the stars, an ornament giving light in the highest places of the Lord. At the commandment of the Holy One, they will stand in their order and never faint in their watches. Look upon the rainbow and praise him that made it. Very beautiful. Which is now, the rainbow is turned upside down in this
con
society, man. They
con
made something holy, basically an abomination, which is
con
wickedness, man.
uh,
Because every time you see a rainbow, it's supposed to be it's supposed to be a reminder to mankind that the Most High isn't going to destroy the world by water again, man.
con
you know so people are supposed to fear and reverence when they see the rainbow, but now people are fucking proud and all these things, man.
con
you know
con
that's why in Second Ezra's what is that 11? He said the proud times are at an end,
con
right?
Yeah.
So these are proud times we're in, man. But the Most High is coming back to basic people, man.
Con.
con and we can't wait. Don't get it twisted, man. We hate this place so much. Hey, I was thinking about that today. Like, I hope, like, after this blood moon, man, Yabba Shemesha comes back soon, man, because this place, man, makes you, especially even the truth, it makes you feel sick, man. Because you look at other people, like, I can't believe you can be so disgusting, man. You can go and be so prideful and actually be okay with it and laugh about it and feel no way about it. Like, these people have no spiritual
I
attributes
got a quick
but
precept for that. Huh?
gone.
This is Isaiah 2:9, and it says, "And the mean man boweth down, and the great man humbleth himself. Therefore forgive them not. Enter thou, it's like enter into the rock, and hide thee in the dust for fear of the Lord, and for the glory of his majesty. The lofty looks of man shall be humbled, and the haughtiness of men shall be bowed down, and the Lord alone shall be exalted in that day." Right? Because you got a
Mm,
lot of proud people, man.
gone. because
Yes.
right now,
And like, what you guys gonna do when your big estates with your mansions and all these things, your corporations is all destroyed, man. You know?
con, yeah, no, everything that you've worked so hard for and glorified in is gonna be gone. You're gonna be broken because you put your riches in carnal things and your mind in carnal things, and when it's gone, you have no hope, right? And on top of that, you're gonna have to face Yabba Shem Yashai, man. You know, people are gonna be trampling over each other. People are gonna be tripping and trying to kill themselves. Won't be able to kill themselves.
I
All
know
this.
what's gonna be beautiful. Everything what people look upon as valuable is gonna be nothing in
Yeah,
in our realm, in our kingdom.
that's
It's
right.
gonna be trash.
Con.
Everything that we look upon, even us, in the flesh right now, you might see a nice car. You're like, damn, man, I wish I was driving that shit.
Yo,
It's
hey,
nothing in our kingdom.
even our flesh right now is gonna be trash, man.
That's
Yep.
why Paul said, he said, I count all the things but done for the Lord, man. Shit.
Yeah.
That's
Which it makes sense, cause yo, the
right.
most I said he said that basically he's gonna rid the land. He's
Right.
gonna make it flat. You know what I mean? Or he's gonna rid the land where everything is gonna be level. You know,
Shalom, Mark.
this whole land is gonna
Shalom.
be completely destroyed. Shalom. Ya
Shalom.
Bashim Shai Barakatah.
Yahweh Shema Shabbat.
And this is verse 4 of Isaiah 2. It says, for the day of the Lord of hosts shall be upon everyone that is proud and lofty, and upon everyone that is lifted up, and he shall be brought low.
Con. Yeah. So your governments, you got Trump, everything calling people taking self-centeredness, all that stuff is gonna be brought low, man. It's gonna come to naught. You know.
I'm going to
That's
jump
right.
down to verse 18. 18, it says, this is a good point on you people, man. You got a brother made a point about any restaurant you go to, whether it's a Mobile restaurant, the Elamite restaurant, they always have their idols, man. They always have their so-called good luck charm. They got their gods, right? This is verse 18 in the same chapter. And the idols he shall utterly abolish, and
Mm.
they shall go into the holes of the rocks.
Yeah, he shall abolish. Okay, can someone look up that word abolish real quick?
In the Hebrew or Edom.
In the Hebrew, abolish.
Okay.
I'll get it.
Con.
Uh,
'Cause that's a beautiful word. Abolish.
the word is chalap, which means to pass on or away, pass through, to pass on quickly.
And how's Yabashim Shai gonna pass on quickly through that, man? That nuclear fire.
Hey,
Those nukes are gonna be
it says to change, substitute, alter, change for better, renew.
Then it says to pass on. That's right.
It's
And
gonna
it
pass
said to
over.
pass on, which is gonna be like a new Passover too.
Passover.
Right,
Con, man.
I was just
That's
thinking
right,
that.
bro. Yeah.
Yep.
And it even
It
said
says
for better, right? Because
yep.
idols are dumb. It goes what that Second
Woo!
Corinthians 11 carried away in those dumb idols, man.
Bro, I have more on Edom Online too
Oh,
for
okay.
abolish.
Con.
To put an end to, do away with. Old French abolish. To abolish, obsolete, destroy, efface, annihilate, cause
Nice.
to die out, retard the growth of, you know? And yeah, that was the point.
Yo,
Basically to destroy.
yeah, but the Most High say he's gonna annihilate, man. Annihilate the idols, man, because it's
Efface. He said and then it says retard the growth of,
con.
which is, yeah, Esau just keeps building up his kingdom, man. The most High gonna destroy that shit everywhere
Yeah,
where
and there's
you're
gonna be no
building.
more idols, man. No more ideologies of different gods and
That's
all
right.
that shit.
Right.
You don't need to hear that mess anymore, man.
That's right.
Verse back in 18 it says, and they shall go into the holes of the rocks and into the caves of the earth for fear of the Lord and for the glory of his majesty when he arises to shake terribly the earth. It says, in that day a man shall cast his idols of silver and his idols of gold, which they made, each one for himself to worship, to the moles and to the bats, to go into the clefts of the rock.
Because hey, and they show an example of that in that arc. What was that movie when they built those boat arcs, man? And then
Yeah, them
everyone was trying to,
spaceships. I
Oh,
want to say in
2010?
the,
what is it called?
2012, right?
Yeah, 2012.
2012. Yeah.
Everybody was throwing away idols. They were looting the place. Yo, no one gave a damn. The only thing they wanted to do was get on that arc, man. If they had to push people out of the way, they would push people out of the way, man. Hey, some people were
Hey,
pushing people
hey,
over
they
cliffs.
called them ships arcs on that movie too, right?
Yeah, they called them arcs,
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
Call them
Con.
arcs. And the thing is, though, everybody was snaking each other to somehow get on that boat, right? So
Yep.
when it comes to these underground bunkers, the leads, they're gonna leave you high and dry out here, man. It's every man for themselves. They're not gonna care about their
And those tickets were how much?
huh? Say
I
that
think
again, man.
they're like a million a ticket or even more.
Yeah, like a million a ticket just to buy an underground bunker. The minimum, like for a standard one, is like $3 million. You know,
Can't.
so
This
and that's
is
only
in
for like a household one. These guys have bunkers that are like a city. Like
Con.
it take
That's
out the
right.
whole city, but it's only gonna be a few family members in that one area. You know?
can't,
Right.
can't.
They have
And
all
those
the
are
actual seeds. They actually have like all the real seeds of like fruits and vegetables under there, man, in their bunkers. You
Con.
Con.
know?
That's why they're giving you guys fake food because they're trying to withstand and survive the so-called nuclear holocaust for as long as possible because they don't know how long they're gonna have to live underneath there. But the point is, they're not gonna live long underneath it because we're gonna come and we're gonna take you
well,
out.
they're making these people eat this damn poison to make them dependent on the food. So
Con,
when
Right.
that time gets cut off, these people are dead, man, because these people eat every 2 hours, man, every
con,
hour,
con,
right? So they're dependent on McDonald's, they're dependent on whatever they're dependent on, man.
con.
That's right.
So when that fast comes, when that great fast comes, okay, everyone's gonna be fasting. you know? These people aren't ready, man.
Con,
The Walking
What's
Dead,
what they call it?
zombies.
When you ain't got no choice in the matter, involuntary fast.
con. Yeah, aka famine. You know? This, was there more on that? I'll have a precept.
God knows it.
Okay. This is Second Ezra 15 and 40. It says the great and mighty clouds shall be lifted up full of wrath, and the star that they may make all the earth afraid, and them that dwell therein, and they shall pour out over every high and eminent place and horrible
You should
star.
start from the top, like it should start from 15 and 1.
Okay,
Cause I
con.
was about to get that too, man. That chapter, man. That's a
Yeah,
heavy chapter. That whole
All right,
that
chapter is heavy, man.
yeah, that
all right,
whole
con.
chapter. You could do a whole camp on the 15th chapter.
Yeah,
Con.
con. So,
That's
in
the
the
time that we're living in.
Yep.
con.
Con.
Good.
Yep.
All right. 15 and 1. Second Ezra is 15 and 1. It says, "Behold, speak thou in the ears of my people the words of prophecy, which I will put in thy mouth, saith Yahweh Shem Shai, and cause them to be written in paper, for they are faithful and true. Fear not the imaginations against thee. Let not the incredulity of them trouble thee, that speak against thee. For all the unfaithful shall die in their unfaithfulness. Behold, saith the Lord, I will bring plagues upon the world, the sword, famine, death, and destruction." And that's
Look what's
where,
happening right now, man.
yeah,
Right now, even here in America, Canada and stuff, UK, everywhere where Jake is dwelling, it's getting bloodier, man.
con,
So
Con.
imagine civil unrest.
that's
There's gonna
right,
be a
Right.
lot murders and crime and all these things, man.
that's right,
Yeah,
that's
you
right,
got
Civil
cities.
unrest.
I was going to say you got cities that you wouldn't normally have with a high crime rate. Where the crime rate is getting higher.
con.
Exactly. That's right.
Um, verse 6 says, "For wickedness have exceedingly polluted the whole earth, and their hurtful works are fulfilled. Therefore, saith the Lord, I will hold my tongue no more as touching their wickedness." And
That's
that's
right. Cause
where,
this place is becoming more wicked and wicked every day.
con,
Look at the Pizza Gate getting exposed, man.
Yep.
Yep.
God. Hey, how much more exceedingly wicked can you get when you got videos and blogs going in on how Edomites pushing for the pedophilia thing, but I seen one article that said it's not that bad for a child to experience that if it's under consent. Like,
How?
yeah,
What?
like what kind of shit is that, man? Consensual
Hey, let me get.
pedophilia relationships.
That's why it says, yo, but that's why it says, they're a nation of hypocrites because today I saw on the news, it says that the owner of CBS, the CEO of CBS, is getting sued for sexual assault on women. So if
Wow.
women are getting, if women are suing and coming out on these guys, how are you allowing pedophilia? I mean,
God.
these are grown women right here saying that they were forcibly raped against their will. How much more a kid?
Hey, hey,
You
hey,
said,
hey, on another case, what's that big the nigga everybody hates Chris father.
oh,
You
that
know,
guy. Yeah, I know what you're
he
talking about.
he he in court suing for sexual assault. Well, hey, you're a grown ass man. You should have handled that. You should have
Oh,
brought
Terry
judgment
Crews.
on him right then and there. You should have punched that.
Who? Terry
Beat that
Crews?
nigga ass, man.
I
Huh?
think so. The
You
bald
talking about
dude.
Terry
Yeah.
Crews?
Terry Crews. Yep, Terry
Yeah,
Crews,
yeah,
man.
yeah. Even 50 Cent made fun of him. He said, "What the fuck is that, man?"
Yeah, right.
Hey, let me get this quick precept. This is Job 22:5. It says, "Is not thy wickedness great and thine iniquities infinite?"
Mm.
Con.
Hey, and that's a very serious word.
That's
Infinite,
Esau, man.
Infinite.
meaning no end. It keeps going. That means if he were to stay in rulership for the next 100 years, man, this place would be a disaster.
Con.
There's no slowing down for him.
He's the master. He's the master of wickedness. The
Con,
ultimate master, man. That's true.
con, man.
Well, that's why the
Word.
Lord said, "If the time was not shortened, there'd be no flesh to save."
Yeah,
Yeah, the harbinger of death, man.
con,
That's right.
Hey, I got the word Salakia infinite. Right? I just want to look it up,
con.
and the
Con.
word is uh, Quatazav, which means at the end of time.
See, at the end of time, even to his end, he's still doing
it,
wickedness,
it
man.
says end of space.
Oh shit.
Hey, who knows what the end of space is? No one does, not even Esau, man.
That's right. So that means he'll never stop. He'll never stop, man. That's crazy because that means you can't even see him stop. You don't even see the point where he could stop, man. Because you can't
He's
see the
moving
end.
at light speed.
Yeah, crazy, man.
Like, even the Lord has given us a sign that the end is coming. It's no sign of the end of Esau's wickedness, man.
Con, con.
That's right.
Was that it up?
Con.
I'm gonna continue in this. Uh, Second Ezra 15:8. It says, "I will hold my tongue no more as touching their wickedness, which they profanely commit. Neither will I suffer them in those things in which they wickedly exercise themselves." So if they're exercising this stuff, what happens when you exercise, man? You're working it out, you're working out, you're pushing yourself more to be better in whatever you're exercising in and more fit. These guys are getting more fit and wicked. They're exercising how to be more wicked, man.
You putting time into it.
That's right. And they're going the distance. They're like, okay, we got this far now to break that. Because every time you work out, you're trying to break the last exercise or cycle that you did, man. Okay, so that's what they're doing. And that's what you see with first they started with what the homosexuality. Now they're going into what pedophilia. They're pushing it. They're pushing it more and more and more. Right? It says, I will neither will I suffer them in those things in which they wickedly exercise themselves. Behold, the innocent and righteous blood crieth unto me, and the souls of the just complain continually, which is the elect. The elect complain continue before Yahweh Shemashai, us being in this hellhole, man. It says, um, and therefore, saith the Lord Yahweh Shemashai, I will surely avenge them. See, Moses said, I will surely avenge them. Says, um, receive unto me all the innocent blood from among them, because you even have Akims that died in the truth, you know, begging Yahweh Shai Mashiach, when is he gonna execute judgment? It tells you that in Revelation the 6th chapter. When is he gonna take revenge for the wickedness? You know, so Yahweh Shai Mashiach hasn't forgotten you Edomite wickedness and what you're doing on the earth. It says, "Behold, my people is led as a flock to the slaughter. I will not suffer them now to dwell in the land of Egypt." And that's where all these signs are coming from. You know, Yahweh Shai Mashiach is not suffering us to be here anymore. He's getting ready to deliver his elect. It says, "But I will bring them with a mighty hand and a stretched out arm, and smite Egypt with plagues as before, and I will destroy all the land thereof. Egypt shall mourn, and the foundation of it shall be smitten with the plague and the punishment that the Most High shall bring upon it. They that
Even
shall
look right now. No, the whole like Democrats, Republicans up here, the conservatives and liberals and all these things. There's all kinds of internal warfare going on amongst Esau, man.
turn,
Gone.
You know, these Edomites are in mourning. Which Esau is the modern day Egyptian and stuff. So
turn,
you know, this
and
kingdom is falling.
All
hey,
kinds of
So
whistleblowers coming to surface.
turn. Like even now when you see on the news, right? Before on the news it'd be all about Jake, but now it's all about Edomites, and it's really mainly the politicians and the president. You know, oh, the president is doing this, the politician is doing that. They're worrying, like the brother said, they're worrying and talking crap about each other, saying this man is this man did this. So it's Yahweh showing that it's Satan versus Satan, right? And
that's right.
and how can their kingdom stand if they're against each other?
So that means that right now, like a lot of the politicians back then, or Caesars and stuff, like senators and all those people, like they were killing each other for power, man.
Con,
You know, the
Hmm.
same thing's gonna happen. You're gonna hear about all kind of fights break out in Parliament or
you
in the Congress and all these things. Watch
Gone.
con,
city, city halls in all these things. All kind of shit's about to start happening, man.
Hey, I got a precept real quick.
con.
Mark 3:25. And if a house be divided against itself, that house cannot stand.
Yeah, and
That's right.
and each nation is its own house. And right now, Esau's house, all the family members inside the house are fighting one another. You have like we said, the government is fighting the politicians, like the Democrats, you know, and then you got the Republicans, and
Look
then
here
you
in Toronto.
con they're fighting amongst each
Look
other.
here in Toronto, like with Doug Ford and stuff. He's now premier. His brother was once mayor of the city. Now he's premier. They're saying, oh, that he's cutting down the city. That he's taking the people of the Toronto City Hall. He's cutting the seats down from 75 to 25 people. So that's over 50 fucking city councilors out of work. That's
Con.
a lot of fucking jobs lost, man. That's a lot of money lost, man.
And then
Uh,
you know what the flip side of all that is? Then you got President Trump saying the economy is doing great, but then he has problems with Russia, man. So
uh,
Con,
there's
hey,
a
I
bunch.
got, I gotta, I gotta, I gotta bring this up because the brother mentioned internal warfare in the Roman Empire, right?
right.
I remember there was a thing, and then I just googled it. It's called the Year of the Four Emperors, right?
Yup.
And it says, um, it's basically in 1 year there was four emperors, which doesn't happen. The emperor goes until I believe he dies or he has a certain amount of time he reigns, but it happened through people dying or people committing suicide, you know.
See,
So
that's crazy.
that's some history to look up as well because that happens a lot in office too, you know.
Con,
So it's just reincarnated. Everything's gonna be worse, man. You know, in this life.
con. Hey, and there's a good example of that. Is I don't know if they still have it on Netflix. It's called The Roman Empire Blood Something. And that's a good show to watch because the same event that's happening now is showing you that in Rome that happened as well. Remember the last Caesar when he started changing the coins in his face and he's changing all the politics and getting rid of all the senates and stuff. Is the same thing that's happening now with all these Caesars, man, in all the countries that they rule. They're getting rid of senates. They're changing things to their policies. The people in an uproar. Well, and then in Roman in the movie, it was showing that they were starving the people out on purpose, man. You know, trying to go to war and own more countries, but they failed. And it's the same thing happening all over again. You know,
That means that this government and the world government is bound to collapse, and
con,
civil unrest is gonna very soon, maybe within the next couple of months, Lord will,
con.
we're
Con.
gonna see a lot of change.
That's right. Um, Continuing, it says, um, it says, verse 11. But I will bring them with a mighty hand and a stretched out arm, and smite Egypt with plagues as before, and will destroy all the land thereof. Egypt shall mourn, and the foundation of it shall be smitten with the plague and punishment that the Most High shall bring upon it. They that till the ground shall mourn, the farmers, all right, and they are mourning. It says, for their seed shall fail through the blasting and hail, and with the fearful constellation. And Toronto just had a hailstorm like the other day. You know, there's
There's a
videos.
there's it's like it, and there's been heat waves too,
Con,
Yeah.
killing crop and killing people.
Hey, it was
con.
I think they said like 70 people died in I think China, somewhere over in Asia, from a heat wave.
Wow.
See, that's
Even
crazy.
here in Canada, in like over there in Quebec, I believe over like 60 people died, in in the heat wave in the past couple of weeks.
Mhm.
So if people's dying, like imagine the crops. There's all kind of wildfires going on also.
Yep.
Yeah, even Greece, right? They had wildfires. California had one yesterday. Greece had
Wow.
one like 2, 3 days ago, and 80. It said 80 people die and 100 people still missing, man. So the bodies are
Yeah,
still counting, man.
yeah. Here it goes. It says unprecedented Japan heat wave kills 65 people in 1 week.
Woo!
Ooh,
A number
beautiful.
22.647 taken to the hospital as record-breaking weather is declared a natural disaster.
Yo, we never heard of this in our lives, man.
God,
Like I never heard of so much people dying of heat stroke and all these things.
yeah,
Yep.
Like that's
con,
some death angels, man.
con.
No,
Hey,
that's
Yahweh
taking
Shemashim
people.
putting them plagues on the world, like he
Yeah,
said that he's gonna put plagues upon the world, right?
that's right.
Um, verse
Uh,
14, verse 14, it says, woe to the world and them that dwell therein, for the sword and the destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up to fight against another, and swords in their hands, for
So
there
you
shall
you're
be.
gonna have governments fighting against each other. You're gonna have like other races. You're gonna have Israelites against these other nations, man.
hey, you forget
No,
some of these Edomites that stack up on arms and they form militias.
yep, that's right. Especially them, man, and bikers and all these people, bikers, all these different militias. Like
Yep.
they're gonna come against the Israelites, the so-called Negro,
Yeah.
so-called Latinos and Hispanics, man. So you guys better come together, man. During those race wars, because at the end of the day, like Esau gonna take a whole bunch of our people, man.
Yeah.
And right now, our people is the most disunited like nation of people on earth, man.
Con.
I got a
Everyone
quick
else is
question.
prepared, talking in their temples or their place of business and stuff, their place of worship or whatever, on how to prepare. But Jake isn't prepared, you know.
They actually think the opposite. They think nothing's gonna happen. That they're still gonna be able to prosper. Like they
Yeah.
they've been so undertrodden for so long or overtrodden for so long that they just want to comeuppance, and they don't want the world to disappear because they'll feel that everything they've tried to do is in vain, and it really is in vain because this isn't your world.
Con,
This world was never made for you, man.
con, this is
Con.
Sirach in the Apocrypha 34:16. It says, "For the eyes of the Lord are upon them that love Him. He is their mighty protection and strong stay, a defense from heat, and a cover from the sun and moon."
Sure.
Ah.
It says, "A preservation from stumbling and an help from falling.
Hey,
That's
and
right.
He
that's why.
raiseth up."
Now go ahead, Slakia.
It says, verse 17, he raiseth up the soul and lighteth up the eyes. He giveth health, life, and blessing.
Yeah, and that's why when all these plagues are coming on the world, that's why the brothers are not affected. You don't hear about brothers being like, "Oh my gosh, I almost fainted and died by a heat stroke today," and stuff like that, because Yahweh Hashem has, Lord wills is protecting us through all these plagues. That's why
Yeah.
we're not feeling it like other
That's right.
people are feeling it, man.
Hey, how do you think brothers? His brothers out here in camps that got serious ailments. How you think they're gonna be protected in that day? They can't get to their so-called medicines that they go to Esau to get. The only thing that's gonna get them out of that is Yahweh Shem Shah.
That's right.
That's right.
Right.
That's right.
I'm gonna skip to 40, and then I'm gonna just read like 3 more verses, and then we can close out. Verse 40, it says, the great and mighty cloud shall be lifted up, full of wrath, and the star, that they may make all the earth afraid, and them that dwell therein, and they
So
shall
the great and mighty cloud, which is the chariot,
Con.
and the Lord, man, the Lord's gonna come and destroy these people, man.
That's right. It says, and they shall pour out over every high and eminent place a horrible star, fire and hail and flying swords, and many waters, that all fields may be full, and all rivers with the abundance of great waters. And they shall break down the cities and walls, mountains and hills, trees of the wood, and grass of the meadows, and their corn. And they shall go steadfastly unto Babylon, and make her afraid. They shall come to her and besiege her. The star and all wrath shall they pour out upon her. Then shall the dust, then shall the dust, like it, then shall the dust and smoke go up unto the heaven, and all they that be above her shall bewail her.
Doesn't this scripture coincide with Revelation?
Con.
Con.
And the brother's reading from the Apocrypha, man.
Right.
Right.
That's serious, man.
That's right. And they that remain under her shall do service unto them that have put her in fear, and thou, Asia, that art partaker of the hope of Babylon, and art the glory of her person. And that goes back
Look
to what
at
the brother.
Moab. Sorry, Salak, I see what you're saying, but
No, go ahead, go ahead.
yeah, like look at Moab. Moab is one of the most prosperous nations in the Americas, man.
Con.
They have a lot of big corporations. They own a lot of like real estate. Different.
I think that place so. I ain't mean to cut you off, but why you think that place so fucked? The air quality is so bad. All them factories and shit, they build everything over there, man.
Con.
From cars, different products. They
That's
they
right.
much produce. I mean, I can't put a number on it, but let's just say 80% of the world's goods, man.
Con.
If not more, I think it's more.
If not more,
I
right?
say maybe 90. Maybe 90.
Right.
Con.
We could even say 90, I think.
Because the scripture said, and art the glory of her persons. When you look at everything that you get, most of it says made in China.
Yeah.
So it shows you, man, that these scriptures are accurate.
Or if it's not in China, Asia, like Taiwan or Bangladesh,
all those.
Vietnam.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, that's talking about that tribe, man. Moab and Ammon.
Washpot.
That's right.
Elam's up there too, If it's not in China, it's in Bangladesh or somewhere.
Yeah.
Pakistan.
Mongolia.
Yep.
Verse 47 says, woe be unto thee, thou wretch, because thou hast made thyself like unto her.
Especially you damn Elam, man. You guys are up here in Canada and Brampton and stuff. You guys, like I swear, Brampton is like a little India. It's a big India.
I need to take a trip up there, man, because them fucking Elamites, they got these call centers, and they call you with these talking about their name Jeff Majors and shit like you name it no fucking Jeff, man.
Yeah.
And then they call your number all times of the day, man.
Some of them just got busted for fraud, man.
Yeah,
a lot of them.
Yep.
Frauded hundreds of millions, man.
Con.
It
With them
says thou
them,
rich.
them
It
call
says thou
centers.
rich.
Thou
Read
rich.
that part again, man.
Con. It says, "Woe be unto thee, thou wretch, because thou hast made thyself like unto her, and hast decked thy daughters in whoredom,
Ooh,
that they
biggest
might."
whores though.
Yeah, yeah. It says
Hey,
that
these
they
women
might.
when they come here, they become sluts, man. You know,
Yeah.
Yeah.
they grow up in this society, and then they go
They
to.
can't
There's a
they can't wait to get over
it,
here.
there's a special on Brampton. I was, I'm just laughing because I forgot to show the brothers, but there's a special in Brampton about
Mhm.
this one guy saying these women when they go to these parties they get pregnant, and then the newscast lady, she came up and she was asking how did they get pregnant. She's like, look at them, they get pregnant. They go to these parties and basically the parents allow the man to go, but they tell the woman, the daughter, you can't go. You have to stay at home. And then what does the daughter say? Oh, with the westernized mind, she says, "Oh, well, that's not fair. That's double standard."
Right.
You know, because they grew up in this society. But if it was there, you know, back in the eastern part of the world, which is more,
They
it
be
has a
keep,
more ancient vibe.
yeah,
You
they
know,
be keepers at home.
That's right.
kind. But even laws are passing in where Iran, Saudi Arabia, but women can drive now.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
seen that.
yeah, right. Yep.
Oh, and the law for in Iran, where you can, I think, walk uncovered now. And
Wow.
there's women now being feminists, and they're actually carrying cameras because they get harassed by men. Men come up and say, it'd be better if you covered up.
That,
You should cover up, because a lot of men.
Which is
So some,
righteous.
yeah, some men come up and they say, "Listen, I'll kill you. You have to cover up." Some men threaten them.
That's righteous, man.
But they have these rights, man. They're getting these rights because, man, Esau's creeping up in there, man.
That's
yeah.
right.
That's why you see them over here with hijabs and jeans on. You
Con.
know, they had a
And
hijab around
they're
here,
the
then they
biggest
got
sluts.
tight jeans. They the biggest sluts, you know. Them hijab,
Yeah,
them bitches with hijabs and jeans and skirts and shit on.
Con.
that's right.
Um, it says, "Woe be unto thee, thou wretch, because thou hast made thyself like unto her." And it says,
Oh my God. Yeah, I'm telling you, man. Especially Brampton, man. If any of you brothers come up here from the States, man, and you see how Brampton is, it's like a little India, man.
It's
Con.
called
Whoa,
Brahmin.
it's so bad, man. Like where these people they own most of those plazas up there, the store outlets and stuff. They own a lot of that shit. They have
Uh,
their own little trucking companies, businesses and stuff, man.
He's having the trucks too.
hey, them motherfuckers cheaper than
Yeah.
Jews too, man.
Cheap.
They cheap as fuck, man. They don't buy shit unless it's on sale.
Yeah, they're
That's
like
why
me.
they're so rich.
Yeah,
They're cheap and have money.
yep.
Yeah.
Hey, all I did was did a search on feminism in Iran and all kinds of shit pop up.
Con.
Women proud to posting pictures of their hair uncovered.
Yeah, con.
Con. Says,
Hey, that's a dangerous place, man. That place, they still stone you to death, man.
Yeah, come.
yeah,
You know, this is a deadly place.
That's right.
con. Verse 47, it says, "Woe be unto thee, thy wretch, because thou hast made thyself like unto her, and hast decked thy daughters in whoredom, that they might please and glory in thy lovers, which have always desired to commit whoredom with thee."
Con, that's
Thou,
that's what the brothers are saying. The lovers of these other nations. That's how we include Elam, Ishmael, you know,
The
uh,
Hamites too. You
yeah,
damn
Ham.
Ethiopians. You guys, you notice that most of the Kushites, they own a lot of parking lots and stuff, man.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
Oh, these guys are
Hey,
collecting all kinds of money every day
hey,
from
DC,
parking.
hey,
hey,
there's some.
DC is full of Kushite parking lots, man. Like
See, it's like that in America, eh?
Hey, see,
in
there's a flow
DC,
of heathen. There's a flow to the heathens, in man.
yeah,
Because
Yeah,
who got the gas stations? Who runs the gas stations? Who runs the cabs? Right?
yeah.
That's right.
yeah, because you
And
look
it's
at all
funny
of
too.
them,
In
like,
Toronto, it was actually a Jake that started the first cab company. He was an
yeah,
Israelite.
It was a Jake that
I
started
didn't
the
know
first
that.
company in DC too, I think.
We're the former of all things. You see that?
We make
It
Yeah.
was he was
Hey,
a Judite that came from America. He started it.
hey,
yeah,
but where the hell is
he
Japhett
made
in
Yeah.
all this?
he
Well,
made
what
it.
the hell is Japhett doing while all these other heathens flourishing?
Yeah. But it's
Japhett,
crazy. Like
like
we'll
they
make the
quiet.
idea, and they just take it, man, and then they just make profit off of it.
Well, the Filipinos, man, they got a lot of stuff they do too.
The
Yeah.
Yeah.
Filipinos are
I be
just
thinking,
they're like parasites. They're like slave workers. They're
yeah,
like the new nigga slaves.
they like pretty much the Issachar of the heathens.
Yeah.
Okay.
Um.
Ties and all those people, Indonesian.
Two more verses. It says, "Thou hast followed her that is hated in all her works and inventions. Therefore saith the Most High, I will send plagues upon thee, widowhood, poverty, famine, sword, pestilence, to waste thy houses with
Which
destruction
is
and death."
righteous, because you other nations, you guys are following that whole democracy, the whole capitalism, suit
Yeah.
and tie,
Yep.
these big buildings, more than 3 stories,
Right.
giving women equal rights and all these things. So the most are gonna destroy you guys, man.
Hey, I
This
remember.
this
I remember in the
homosexual shit.
'80s. Oh, my bad.
No, no, no.
No, I
Sorry.
was
Say what
saying,
you're saying now.
I remember coming up in the '80s, like watching, like my grandfather used to watch like the news and shit all the time, like foreign news and shit. But I remember seeing Chinese Asian men doing business in their garments from home, like Japanese too. But as the '90s came more and more, you start seeing them chicks in suits and ties, man.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay. You see that?
that's
It's true.
democracy. That's democracy, man. That's the capitalism.
Even Ishmael, even back in like early '90s, Ishmael used to be in slippers and their hijab. I mean,
Yep,
on their garments and stuff.
yep,
Yeah, you see
yep.
that enough. You would see that enough. Now you see them rocking like Nikes and all these
Hey,
fancy
Armani,
shoes.
they were in Armani like suits and shit,
yeah.
and
Now you
some
might see.
some of them try to dress like Italians and shit, sharp.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah. You might see him with a sweatsuit with the little thing on their head. I seen that. You know.
Tell that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was it. Kind of like you can close out.
Okay. So with that, I'd like to say all praises to Yahweh Bashim and Shai. Double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone. And may this kingdom be destroyed with a big bang.
That's right.
On Yahweh Bashim and Shai for your signs, your prophecies, and may we get out this bitch, man,
God.
Uh,
as soon as possible.
All right,
So with
shalom.
that, I'd like to say shalom.
Shalom.
Shalom.